Have you ever noticed something curious? Right now, as you read these words, there's a voice commenting on them in your head. It's agreeing, disagreeing, analyzing, judging. But here's the strange part: if there's a voice speaking, who exactly is listening? This is the cosmic joke we've been playing on ourselves for our entire lives. You are caught up in what we might call the great masquerade of human existence. There are indeed two conversations happening in your life. The first is the one you have with the world, with other people, with circumstances, with the endless parade of situations life presents. But the second conversation is far more intimate and infinitely more exhausting. It's the relentless dialogue between you and that inner voice, that perpetual critic, that narrator who is never, ever satisfied. You know this voice intimately. It's the one that wakes up with you each morning, already preparing the day's criticisms. It tells you you're not good enough as you brush your teeth, not smart enough as you drink your coffee, not doing enough as you check your phone. This voice has opinions about everything: your appearance in the mirror, your performance at work, the way you stumbled over words in yesterday's conversation. But here's what's truly remarkable. You've been so convinced that you are this voice that you've forgotten something fundamental. You've forgotten that for any voice to be heard, there must be a listener. For any thought to be observed, there must be an awareness that observes it. That's silent, spacious, background awareness. The one who hears the voice, the one who witnesses the thoughts, that is closer to your true nature than the noisy commentator it observes. But that inner voice isn't merely a narrator describing your life. Oh no, it has become something far more ambitious. A demanding director of the grand production it has convinced you that you're starring in. This character must always be in control, never confused, never uncertain, never caught off guard. This character must be liked by everyone, never saying the wrong thing, never causing offense, never revealing too much vulnerability. This character must be constantly improving, always working towards some better version of itself, some future moment when everything will finally be perfect. And here's the exhausting truth. You've been auditioning for this impossible role every single day of your life. Think about it. When was the last time you had a conversation without that inner voice coaching you on your performance? Say something interesting now. Don't let there be an awkward silence. Make sure they like you. Don't reveal too much. Sound more confident. The boo rector never takes a break. Every social interaction becomes a scene where you must deliver the perfect lines. Every challenge becomes a test that your character simply cannot fail. Every quiet moment gets filled with the director's endless notes, regrets about past scenes, anxieties about upcoming performances, criticism of your current act. It is relentless. It is exhausting. And it is the single greatest source of suffering in human experience. But what if I told you something that might sound impossible? What if you've never actually been the actor on stage? What if you've been mistaking yourself for a role that doesn't even exist? The reason you feel so tired, so perpetually drained, is because you've been trying to perform what I can only describe as an impossible performance. You've been trying to be a character that can handle everything perfectly, that never makes mistakes, that always knows what to say. But this character is a phantom. It's a collection of thoughts, memories, and projections that the mind has woven together and convinced you is real. You've been trying to improve, defend, and perfect something that was never there in the first place. It's like spending your whole life polishing a mirage. Consider this. Can you find this character anywhere other than in thought? When you really look for this self that supposedly needs to be fixed and improved, where is it? Strip away the thoughts about yourself, the memories, the future projections. What remains? What remains is the pure awareness that was looking for the character in the first place. Now, you might be thinking, all right, so how do I stop this exhausting performance? What technique can I use? What practice will free me from this demanding director? And here's where we encounter what might be called the secret that isn't a method. You cannot do anything to stop the performance, because any doing is just the character trying a new strategy to improve its act. The character cannot free itself from being a character any more than a wave can wet itself or fire can burn itself. The freedom doesn't come from a new technique or a better method. It comes from a simple, radical shift in recognition. It's the sudden realization that you are not and have never been the actor struggling on the stage. You are the vast, silent, peaceful awareness in which the entire play is taking place. You are not the drama. You are the theater itself. You don't need to fight the director's voice. You don't need to improve the character's performance. You don't need to fix anything at all. You need only to relax your attention away from the drama on stage and notice the infinite, silent, peaceful space that you are. Let the play continue if it must. The voice will keep commenting. The character will keep trying to perform perfectly. The director will keep giving notes, but you no longer have to believe you are the one in the spotlight. This is how you step off the stage, by realizing you were never on it in the first place. Pause for a moment right now and ask yourself this simple question. What knows this? Notice that you are aware of reading these words. Now ask yourself, what is it that knows you are reading? What is aware of your awareness? Don't try to find an answer in thought. The mind will immediately want to jump in with explanations and concepts. Instead, simply notice the knowing itself. Notice the effortless, choiceless awareness that is reading these words right now. This awareness doesn't belong to the character. The character appears in awareness, not the other way around. Just as a movie screen isn't affected by the dramas that play across it, awareness remains untouched by whatever experiences arise within it. That awareness, intimate beyond intimacy, closer than your next breath, is what you are. When you are no longer convinced that you are the main character struggling on stage, something extraordinary happens. What we might call the end of the search begins to unfold. The constant, tense effort of managing your image simply dissolves. Conversations transform completely. You no longer need to have the perfect response ready. You can listen, truly listen, without the inner voice frantically formulating your next brilliant line. Words arise spontaneously from presence rather than from the character's need to maintain its reputation. Challenges at work or in relationships are no longer personal threats to your identity. They are simply experiences arising in the vast space of awareness. The outcome doesn't touch who you truly are, so you can engage fully, even playfully, with whatever life presents. Joy is no longer a rare reward that the character occasionally receives for good performance. Joy reveals itself as the very nature of the awareness that you are not dependent on circumstances, not requiring any particular experience to validate it. The search for peace ends because you realize you are the peace that was doing the searching. The quest for happiness ends because you discover you are the happiness that was seeking itself. The journey toward enlightenment ends because you recognize that awareness. What you truly are was never broken and never needed fixing. So here's the beautiful secret that mystics and sages have pointed to across all cultures and centuries. And it comes down to simply this. You don't need to find yourself. You cannot lose what you are. You don't need to fix yourself. What you are was never broken. You don't need to perfect your character's performance. The character is just a play of thoughts arising in what you are. All you ever need to do, and this isn't even a doing, is this. Simply notice the one who is aware, right now. Not as an experience to be achieved, but as the very awareness in which the desire to achieve arises. Notice the silent, empty, peaceful awareness that is effortlessly present. Reading these words, feeling the breath in your body, aware of sounds, aware of the space around you. Rest as that, not as a practice to do later, but as the recognition of what is already and always here. That awareness, that presence, that intimate knowing that is home, that is what you are. That is what you have always been. The voice in your head will probably have something to say about this. Let it comment. The character might feel threatened by this recognition. Let it react. The director might insist you need to work harder to get this understanding. Let it direct. You are the vast, quiet space in which all of this is allowed to arise and pass away. And in this recognition, the most natural thing happens. You smile. Not because you've achieved something, but because you remember what was never absent. The play goes on, but you are no longer lost in believing you are the actor. You are the love that allows it all to be.